So, here we go. Scientific notation. If you're watching this video, you can go to Brain Pop and watch a video on it. Kind of explains what it is. But scientific notation is used to write really, really big numbers and really, really small numbers. And we are going to go over some notes here about it. It says, study the following 8 numbers in the table. And we are going to decide which numbers are scientific and which numbers are not. Okay? So the first box says 345. Is that a number in scientific notation form or what we call standard form? Standard. So it is not in scientific, so I'm just going to write an A in here and mark it off. Okay? All right, what about B? Is that in scientific mode or standard mode? That's, you don't need this one. You need, okay, Riley, you need the one that was up there that's no longer up there because I thought you would have gotten it when you came in. Anybody else?
Me.
Riker, I'm sorry. Anybody else need one?
I need one.
Hey, remember when you walk in the door, you come and you get your paper, your notebook, your calculator, a pencil, okay? All right, here we go. So is B in scientific mode or standard? Scientific. So we're going to put a B in this box and cross it off. What about C?
No, that's not scientific.
Because we have 2 digits to the left of the decimal point, it is not scientific. That's correct. What about D? It is scientific. Okay, so D is going here. Now, you have a negative exponent, which tells me that that number in standard form is a small number that's less than 1. Okay? What about E? Scientific or standard? Standard, not in scientific. Okay, so we're going to come over here. How about F? Scientific? All right, so F goes over here. G, scientific? No. Okay, I agree. What about H? No, because it's a 0. Remember, this first number has to be a number 1 through 9. Okay, so H is not in scientific. It says here, justify the reason. I'm not going to answer the second one. What I'm going to do is give you a 2-part answer to the first one. And what that 2-part answer is, to be in scientific mode, must have only one. Everybody knows that the hashtag stands for number? Okay. One number left of decimal and number must be 1 through 9. Okay? I'm going to add one small snippet to that, a second point. Okay? To be in scientific mode, must have power of 10. Meaning you are going to have something that's times 10 to whatever power it might be. I put a question mark up there for the exponent. It could be 0, -1, it could be 1, it could be 50. Okay? There are quite a few professions that you would use this in. Yes, if you were an astronomer. How about if you worked for NASA? How about if you were creating a bomb?
Probably.
Because think about it. If you were trying to do calculations of how much a certain chemical you needed, and that chemical was something, and you had to do some calculations with something like, do you understand how if you did a calculation with that number, you could make a mistake very easily? So that is why we use a scientific mode. Or even in medicine, what if you were going to find the cure for cancer and you were creating some kind of medicine that would help cure lung cancer? Well, you may be using a very tiny amount of something, and if you gave them more than that tiny amount, you may kill somebody. So that's where this is used. It's used in many different fields. I know it doesn't seem like you would have any reason to be using it, but it just depends upon the field that you go into for life. So we expose you to it and get you to know about it. All right? So let's turn the page. Now, the nice thing about our handy-dandy calculators is they will change a standard form number into scientific and a scientific number into standard form. All right, with one limitation. So we have to figure out how to get this taken care of. First thing you need to know, and I need all of you to do this for me because I don't know where calculators are at. I know that I haven't been consistent because I've been running late at every class. So let's hit second plus 7, 1, 2. And let's clear our RAMs and make sure that everything is cleared in our calculator. And we've got to get good at doing that at the end of the class. I've got to get good at making sure there's time to do that at the end of class, all right? And then eventually you will just do it before you put the calculator away, all right? So once it's cleared, you just hit the clear button and you get off of that screen. Everybody get that done? Yes, no, maybe so? Anybody not? Okay. Do you see in my corner right up here how it says normal? Yeah. Okay. That means that this calculator is in normal mode, and that's how you generally want to use the calculator. All right? You want to use it in normal mode. Only when I need an answer in scientific mode do I want to get it out of normal mode. And the way you do that, I'm saying mode a lot, aren't I? So do you see this button that says mode? You're going to push that button that says mode. And do you see how it's flashing on normal? We want to move that over to scientific, and we're going to do that by hitting this yellow arrow going right. And now it is flashing on scientific. The next thing you need to do is press enter to solidify that change. Okay? Everybody with me? Now, if I want to get out of this screen and I hit clear, I'm going to wipe out what I've done. So what I am going to do is hit second and quit, which is your mode button. The second is in blue, the quit is in blue. So as long as I hit second and quit, I'm going to get off that screen and I'm not going to take away what I just put under the mode section. Now, look at this right here. What does it say? On your calculator, it should say scientific, okay? And that's when you know that your calculator is in scientific. I could put in 5 times 5 and it would give me the answer in scientific mode, okay? So if you ever get that, then that's what has happened. Do you need some help? Okay. All right. Yes. Okay, so I need you to hit the mode button. I need you to use the right arrow and move over once till it's flashing on scientific. Now I need you to hit enter. Next, I need you to hit second and quit. Okay? And now you can, is it on scientific now? Yeah. Okay. So, here we go. We're going to put in this number, and we're going to get it to give it to us in scientific. 7635. Hit enter. And what do you get?
83.
Okay. That E, and I'm going to write it right up here. E represents or means times 10. Okay? You are not going to write E on your answer choices. E will never be a test answer choice. All right? So what you need to do is recognize that the calculator gives you E and it means times 10. So I'm just going to write this number, 7.635 times 10. The last number is your exponent to the third. What? Okay.
You mean like?
All right. Does everybody's calculator look like mine?
Yes.
Okay. So that E is representing my times 10, and this 3 is the exponent. Okay. So I know this number is greater than 1, even if I just seen it in scientific, because my exponent is positive. If my exponent was negative, I would know that it's less than 1. Okay. All right. Let's look at the next one. So just put it in, 538.09, hit enter, and what do you get? So I'm going to put 5.3809 times 10 to the power of 2, okay? All right. Why don't you do the last two and write down what you get, and then you can see if it is what I get. Sometimes they give you problems and there can be like 10 and 12 zeros on them. My suggestion is when you get those that you, on the paper, count your zeros, you know, to make sure that you are getting the right number put in the calculator. So first count them on your paper, then count them on your calculator as you put them in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Otherwise, it's really easy to miss one, and it'll take your exponent off, and that answer choice will always be there. Okay? All right, so did you get the same answers as me? Anybody not get them? Anybody doesn't know how to do this? Pretty simple? All right, now, they have given us the answers in scientific form, and they want you to find standard form. So what we need to do, what do you think we need to do to our calculator first? Go back to normal. So we're going to hit, what are we going to do first? Mode. Okay. Now it's flashing on normal. If I hit enter, it'll go on normal and it's good to go. Okay. But I have to hit that enter key. How do I get out of this screen?
Oh, second load. Quit.
Second and quit. Okay. All right. And then you should have normal up there in your calculator. All right. Everybody have normal? Okay. So let's try this. Now we're going to have to learn. Last couple of days I've taught you how to put a square in. We use the X square button. But what if it's to the power of 4?
You don't use it 2 times?
No, you can't use it 2 times. So let me teach you how we're going to do that. We're going to do 8.3 times 10. Everybody get that in your calculator. All right. You ready? All right. I got a little button here on top of the divide by sign. It's a Chinese hat, I call it. It's actually to the power of, and the reason I call it a Chinese hat is because it looks like those hats that they wear in the rice fields, if you've ever seen pictures of that. Okay. And so that is to the power of, and what it did, and I'm going to find a spot where this isn't glaring, it gave me a little box up here, and I call that little box, that's my exponent land, okay? And in exponent land, I can enter a negative sign, I can enter an exponent, I can enter anything I need to enter. What's the number we need to enter right now?
-3.
We need to enter 4, okay? I'm getting some glare today for some reason. I need to enter 4, okay? So, if I enter 4, now, the trick is, if I had more to do, everything I did would end up staying in exponent land. So, do you see how that arrow is going to the right? Okay, you want to push the arrow that's going to the right, and you get out of exponent land, and it's on the bottom. Okay? So now I just hit enter and I get my number. Everybody good? So let's try it one more time together. So now I've got a number 7.89143 times 10. Chinese hat.
How do you do the Chinese hat again?
The Chinese hat is right there above the divided by sign. Okay? Then I'm going to put my exponent of 3 in there. I'm going to arrow out to the right. It gets me out of exponent land, and I'm going to hit enter. My number is 7891.43. Okay? All right, I want you to do the next one and check it with mine. Okay, so put this one in for yourself. And after you've pressed enter, see if you get the same thing I got. The negative sign is right next to your decimal point. Okay, so you just press that negative sign and then press your 3.
Those are not the same thing at the bottom.
What?
You do the same thing at the bottom, like at the top one. I got an E right there.
Because if you got it, because I'll tell you why in just a second. Yes. Okay. All right.
Man, mine's the same
If you've jumped ahead and you're doing the next one, okay, already, go ahead and do it. Try it. Okay. It says it's to the negative 5th power. Okay. It's all right. I'm going to explain something to you in just a second. What happens when you do that?
Hey, just put an E in there.
You get an E. So in other words, you got a scientific number, and when you tried to put it in normal mode, it gave you back a what? A scientific number. The reason is because these calculations do have limitations. Okay? So this was 0.00435. Those limitations are this. This exponent can, in negative land, cannot be more than negative 3. The calculator cannot handle those digits after the decimal. All right? So, if I have a negative exponent, I'm going to get a smaller number or a bigger number? What kind of number am I going to get? Smaller or bigger? We already talked about this. It's going to be smaller. It's going to be less than 1. So if I have 2.6, what that exponent is telling me to do is I have to move it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I would end up with putting zeros in there, 0.00026. Now, I have never seen a test question that has an exponent greater than negative 3. But in case it does, I want you to at least know halfway how to stab at it, okay? So remember, a positive exponent, you're always moving to the right because you're getting a number greater than 1. A negative exponent, you're moving to the left, however many it says, okay? Everybody good? So what do you notice about the patterns?
They're easy.
They're easy? Well, a number greater than 1, what we just said, has a positive exponent. Okay? A number less than 1 has a negative exponent. I could also say that the exponent tells you how many times you move the decimal point, either left or right. And if you have a positive exponent, you're always moving right. And if you have a negative exponent, you're always moving left, okay? And that would be what I would want you to recognize. Can you wait till we just finish? We only have 2 more problems. No? Okay. Then you need to sign out and go. But you need to, please, in the future, go before class, okay? Thank you. All right. All right. This is the thing. When you've got scientific, okay, look at, there's a scientific number, isn't there? You don't even need to read. How do you like that answer? You got a word problem, you don't even have to read. All I need to do is take this and get my normal, don't I? Okay? That's how easy this is. So, what are you going to do? I'm going to let you find the answer. And then we'll see if you get the same answer as me. What'd you get? You're not close to done yet? So what answer choice are you choosing? C is correct. Okay? All right, the last one. This is a hint. If you ever see your answer choices in scientific notation, first off, look at, they have several different numbers in this problem, but you know what? I tell you, I'm a lazy mathematician. If I can get away with not reading that whole darn word problem, you better believe I'm going to get away from it, okay? So, telling you there's times you can be smart, work smart, not hard. Does any of these numbers down here match 1993? So they obviously don't want me to use that, do they? Do any of them match 18? So they don't want me to use that. Guess what's left? There it is. Put it in, turn it into scientific notation. So you're going to have to change your calculator mode. First thing. Once you show me your answer, I'm gonna give you, I want you to put your notes away, and I'm gonna give you the grade for today. Okay? So you want to get working on this. Ready? Yep, this will be your grade, the one that says practice. Let me see your answer. Okay. Okay. Answer this. No. Yep. In your notes. Okay, turn it in, please. You have work from yesterday that you finished. Please turn it in, because that's your first grade. Sorry. Okay? Yep. Okay? Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Put this in notes. Okay? This is the paper that you need to grade on. Alright. Yes. Yes. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Uh-oh, you didn't do it. Ah, where's your paper? I'm looking for your answer for the last one. No, the ones you should have just put in notes. Yep. Okay. Yep. See, that tells me that you can change that calculator back to scientific mode if you got your answer correct. Okay? So, you need to put this number in and find your answer. Okay? And then change your calculator to scientific, and you're going to put this number in and find your answer. Alright? Good. Alright, everybody got a practice paper?